eri tu che non ti ricordavi la trama di Cars, vero?
Cioè.
Mi sa che avevo risolto il tuo problema.
Ah, in che senso?
Vai.
Cos'è? Devo considerare l'età! Ma io non so se c'ho un account giusto. Ma che senso? Che cosa c'è? Cosa succede in questo video, Gabriele? Cosa succede?
No, in realtà sono con te per scoprirlo. Però io ho trovato questo video.
Vediamo se ho un account in cui possiamo. Adesso dobbiamo cambiare video. Vediamo se possiamo guardarci Nemo. Ok. Questa non è age restricted. Mettiamola in 1080. Lo vedremo la prossima volta, Cars.
Ci procureremo
col suo account.
Fish goes looking for his only son, who's lost, right? And how this happened was he had a woman, he got her a house at the drop-off, which is apparently a big deal, okay? Like, if you're living here, you're shitting in high cotton, okay? And they go to check on their 100 or so offspring in their garage, I guess. Then they do some foreplay and see a big bad cunty-wunty killer fish. So he climbed in your windows, had your kids, had your wife, but bitch didn't get the memo. She didn't get the memo. She didn't get the memo.
No, non fa ridere.
To her kids because she wanted to protect them against the advice of Marlon. He gets flicked around because he's small fishy, and bitch gets herself and all her kids fucking murdered. Great job, fucking stupid woman. Then
se me lo dici così, effettivamente mi puoi dire che effettivamente kill count di Nemo al minuto 5 sono tipo 150. Ok.
Wakes up and finds in their driveway, I guess, one lonesome scarred egg, and he calls it Nemo and vows to protect it forever, never, never, never. Cut to years later, where he's super overprotective of his son Bimo, who's a bit grown up and has a
Continua a cambiare nome ogni. Mi sembra un po'. Va bene, ok.
Fish or anything, and they can swim over this shit, fucking jackasses. Anyway, this ass flap of a fish that killed my boy Steve.
Ma non devi
Non ci ho messo di paura.
Cos'è? Allora, cos'è? Va bene, facciamo finta che quello sono io.
They can swim over this shit, fucking jackasses. Anyway, this ass flap of a fish that killed my boy Steve Irwin is apparently the entire school, the sole teacher, and the school bus itself, somehow.
Beh, comunque è efficiente.
È vero.
Take special care of my son because he got this midget fin, can't really swim. My dad, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. They have in class, but it's really like a field trip. Cremo and a few friends sneak off to the edge of the drop-off to see a boat and have a dick measuring contest to see how close they can get to it. They try to peer pressure emo into it, but he ain't budging. And his dad comes along like, what the fuck you doing? All mad at him and stuff, but he wasn't really gonna do anything. Then the murderer comes along like, sorry, I was looking at the national treasure. What can I help you with? And Nemo uses this distraction to go out and show his dad that he doesn't need that much protection. He's a big boy, and he's gonna go out and touch the boat. And his dad notices, and he's like, come back here. I swear to God, if you touch that boat, I'm gonna cut off all your fins and shove them so far up your ass, you're gonna throw them up.
Non la dice questa frase. Io non credo. Non ho mai visto la traduzione in inglese, però credo che non la dica.
Esatto.
Credo.
Young fish, don't you dare. But Cream will be like, fuck you, died. Then he swims back in a bunch of strong words about discipline from his pop-up, who completely missed the fucking diver sneaking up on Fabio. Then another one pops up in flashbacks.
Come hanno fatto a non notarlo? Nel senso, me lo dici così, come hanno fatto a non notarlo? Vabbè.
All this distance to spot and warn your son, but you did fucking neither. What a fucking dumbass uncooked fish finger. Doesn't matter. They take Supremo up to the boat and...
Un bastoncino di pesce.
Hai detto letteralmente quello.
Bastoncino di pesce crudo comunque. Mi mancava come insulto.
To chase after them, but tiny fishies don't swim fast enough, and his son is officially lost. Let the finding of Nemo commence. So he goes.
Sì, ha detto la frase. Ha detto anche il suo nome giusto.
If they saw a boat go by, and he bumps into Dory, this blue fish, who says that she saw a boat go by and tries to help him, but he very quickly finds out that she has short-term memory loss, and he goes, I see. Well, thanks, Dementia Dory, but you're maddeningly unhelpful. And then they meet Bruce the shark, who takes them to an AA meeting for sharks that are trying to get off meth. I mean, eating fish. And the meeting takes place in an old sub surrounded by mines, and Marlon is high-key shitting himself, but Dory is all hunky-dory, just vibing like, hi, I'm Dory, and I've never eaten a fish. So strong. That's incredible. Then Marlon the diver's mask that they knocked off while kidnapping his son, then accidentally sacks Dory in the face with it, and she bleeds a bit, and it goes up Bruce's nose, and that has the same effect on him as snorting a line of cocaine straight off a hooker's ass. And now...
Lenti a contatto. Vai.
So they swim for their life. He finds out that Dory can read. They hide in a torpedo hole. Then Brucey throws a torpedo at a mine and everything goes kaboom, Rico. While the dentist that caught Steamo puts him in his tank and we meet the tank ant. Say hi to Cheddar Cheese, Female Patrick, Vaporwave, Morpheus Fish, Oprah Winfrey,
Morpheus Fish. È vero però, porca miseria. Immagine di quel pesce e di Morpheus accanto, grazie.
Dorito Zebra Fish, and Bird Pelican Guy, who slams straight into the window to observe the dentist do his dentist stuff with the fishies. By the way, this fucking muppet of a dentist doesn't notice him slamming into the fucking window, and he only kicks him out once he talks to the fishies a bit. Also, here they can't hear Patrick.
Can't hear you, Peach.
I said we got a live one.
But now they can.
What do we got? Root canal, and by the looks of those x-rays, it's not going to be pretty.
Just
la senti è un
any
cartone.
sense at all. What the it doesn't matter. They find out that the dentist is gonna give away chemo to a small prostitute bitch ass named Starla, who's and Trimo freaks out, gets stuck in this suction tube, and Dorito Zebra is like, get it on your own. I can't, I got a fucked fin. Never stop me. So Lando wigs around a bit and
Vero,
is everything on his
vero.
own. Good for him. Now fuck him and back to his dad and Dory, who are currently waking up from an explosion coma and run away from the sub that is sliding off a cliff into this chasm of doom, and they keep swimming away
Doom, musica incredibile.
to avoid the sub like the just-brained fish they are. That's okay, the sub stops, they get lucky, but Dory drops the mask into the Mariana Trench. The clownfish is too afraid to go down because he's a massive but Dory's Sigma female has exactly zero shits to give and drags
si
it down
ricorda
with her.
questa
Why aren't there
sotto
any
di-
Sigma female memes, huh? I thought this was supposed to be the age of equality, assholes. So down there they find this
Perché ne
fish
sai?
that
Magari
uses
loro
a
due
snake
ce l'hanno
as bait
fino
to
a...
eat other
Oh
fish
mio
and run away
Dio!
from it and spot the mask, so Merlin does evasive maneuvers while she reads the address on the back of the mask, and they trap the fugly ass fish, and he asks her what she read, and she'd be like, oh, that's easy, P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. I remembered something. Yeah, cool, but where is that? I need to find my son. Man, fuck your son! I remembered shit! Now back to the fuck thing. He becomes pregnant.
Beh, oggettivamente io farei così, nel senso che mi frega.
And to do that, he has to take them all out and put them in individual baggies, at which point they will try and roll out the window and escape into the sea, a plan which Zebra Dorito
C'era un
says is
videogioco
foolproof, but I don't see how
Sì, è I am fish, letteralmente.
esatto.
be able to roll up this ledge
Okay,
and
sconto
fall
su
down
Steam,
onto
ci
the
siamo
sidewalk without
ricordati
exploding and
stamattina.
roll through the street without cars running them over, then up the cliff that is this curb, then into the sea. And I'm gonna be proven right with this last bit because Nemo gets put into an individual baggie and put into a tray that he cannot escape from, and the curb is definitely higher than this ledge right here, so fuck you. To get to Sydney, they're gonna need to go on this underwater highway or something, and they point them in the right direction, and off they go, except
Una
the
freccia,
cat guy with the
non è
lumber
gialla,
to
però.
go through the big bad trench when they meet it, not over it. They get descended upon by a horde of jellyfish. Then, cause Dory high on that good cruise, she decides to make a race out of getting out of here by jumping into
Parkour
the
di
jellyfish's,
Minecraft.
the bubbly
Esatto.
wobbly pit. I don't know. I don't fucking know what these things are called, but the part that doesn't sting yet. And for once, the clown starts vibing along like, are you hungry, Dory? Cause you about to eat my balls, bitch! And he makes it out, wins the race, but at what
che è
cost?
battuta che
Dory's
c'era
not
nel film.
there, so he goes back in and finds her tangled in the jellyfish tentacle stingy bits, so he saves her and stings the shit out of himself, but you know, they get out and they pass out for like the third time in this movie, I think. And a little while later, he wakes up on the shell of the chillest turtle on planet Earth. Home dog is fucking zoinked out of his...
Lui è tranquillo, non... Ah, perché è lento, non perché si è fatto 4 righe poco... No!
The little shits gather round for him to tell him his story of his travels up until now, which travels through word of mouth from turtle to fish to crab to dolphin to bird. The birds must have a horrible version of this kick-ass story because they're only hearing half of what the dolphins are saying. That doesn't matter though, because the story gets transmitted all the way to Paul the Pelican, who's friends with the Tank Gang. So he flies over to them and slams into the window again, this time the dentist...
Ha ucciso il paziente, tra l'altro.
Because Nemo is espresso given his imminent doom and the fact that he almost got
Espresso
into sushi
depresso
earlier
è
on,
la nuova
but he tried
canzone
to
per
execute
l'Eurovision.
what he was planning. But Paul's here now and he hears his dad's story and he gets the motivation to go give the plan another shot, jams the gears of the water filtration purification thingy, then crawls through the suction tube when it's not suctioning, you know, and the heist is completed. Plus 69
Let's
RP,
go.
to Lister. Now back to Jellyman Dad and Blue Bitch. They're in another fast
Dai,
bit of
5 stelle,
VAC, not holding on to Crush's shell, which again is just it's completely the opposite of I'm not even gonna fucking no.
Basta,
They
abbiamo
take a
capito.
swim, and the world's fastest whale gets out of their sight and circles behind them while
Uno,
they're talking about whale
ecco.
dialects and ends up swallowing them both. This all happens in less than 30 seconds. Lightning McQueen whale. Anyway, inside their mouth, Marlin gets clear
That
from
is a-
depression like
Questo
"Fuck, maybe I'm
cazzo."
never gonna be able to tap my son's ass. Then Lightning McQueen starts flushing the toilet that is his mouth, lifts up his tongue, and Dory says he's telling him to let go. So Transistor Fish finally trusts her and does so, and they get shot out of Lightning McQueen's blowhole, not butthole, but blowhole, okay?
But
right next
ma-
to City. So they
giusto?
thank Mr. Whale and start looking around for the address or boat, I guess. I'm not sure. And while this was happening, the Tank Gang were literally swimming in their own shit. The tank is pure filth. So next day, Dick
Perché verde,
Dentist
allora,
cleaned up the
scusa?
tank
Vabbè,
while they were
non-
asleep. I don't know how he managed to do that without waking them up, but he did. And then he installed this high-tech cleaning thingy the day that bitch-ass Darla is supposed to arrive. Then he tries to take Cremo, but fishes unite, and they all swim down to save Nemo from this net. And somehow this dipshit dentist does not at all question this massive feat of intelligence his fishes have performed. Just fucking pisses off and secretly bags Nemo and puts him in a
Vabbè, non è
can to
chissà
stay
quanto.
from them. Satan
Pesce
himself
cattivo vogliamo
arrives.
tenercelo,
Switch
non è
back to
chissà che
Pussyfish and
quanto
Sigma
sta,
Woman,
dai.
who get caught by a pelican, then cough back up because Pussyfish grew some balls and ain't ready to die. And they meet Paul, who figures out that he's Nemo's dad, but they try to flop away, continuing on the pier or the wood stuff instead of jumping back into the water. What a bunch of retarded fish, hombre. Whatever. Paul follows and they end up
Esatto.
surrounded by a bunch of ultra selfish retarded seagulls, and he's like, jump into my mouth, I know you're Gimpy Finn's son, let's go! And he flies off with them, does some clever smart boy flying to get rid of the flying dodos.
Ricordate, fidatevi della persona veramente problematica che vi dice di... Ok.
Saltare nella propria bocca.
But Dentist Cunt goes for the trash can instead. Then Paul arrives and Marlon controls him like Ratatouille, but with
Perché
tongue this
nella
time to go
c'è
save his son, but ends up just
il
causing a
gabinetto di
commotion.
solito.
And dumbass Darla gets a hold of Nemo, shaking him and shit, almost killing him. Paul gets kicked out. Tank Gang uses the bubble volcano thing machine to launch Zebra Dorito onto Darla to piss her off, and the bag explodes. Dentist knocks
mi sono
himself out, and
confuso.
Dorito Zebra launches Quifo into the dentist's spitball thingy. Then the dentist wakes up and puts him
Schifo.
back into the tank. End of QuickTime events. Nemo is currently in the pre-water treatment facility, and Paul sadly deposits a dynamic duo into the sea because they all think that
Osuma e
Nemo's dead.
Nemo.
Then Merlin breaks up with Dory for real this time, and she'd be like, please don't go away, I remember stuff with you, and he'd be like, bitch, hop off this stick and see a doctor or some shit. Then he leaves and Nemo pops out of the sewage pipe right after his dad passes by, then finds Dory and asks her for help, and she remembers everything, so they go looking for Clown Dad, and she uses her expert interrogation skills to find him. The family is reunited, but the drama ain't over because the fishing net swoops down catching a bunch of tuna. I don't know my fish. But they catch Dory along with them, so Quifu wants to use the big brain move of swimming down to save her and everyone along with her. But Pussy Dad be like, no, I'm not gonna lose you again. Please, Dad, you have to trust me. And he's like, okay, fine. Everyone gets told to swim down as hard as they can from the inside and the outside, and a tug of war commences with the fishing boat. The aquatic creatures win this tug of war, and given how fast stories travel to word of mouth in this movie, I'm guessing
mi ricorda che era tipo super epica come scena quando l'ho vista.
Supremo got going pretty hard into ocean bed, but he Gucci Mane and he's still alive, and they go back home to the reef. No longer a pussy, kids allowed to go to school.
Ci ha messo 42 anni per andare e 3 secondi per tornare, tra l'altro.
E alla ricerca di Nemo, non riportiamo Nemo a casa.
Ah, quello è il film dopo.
E quello è il sequel. Cioè no, è stato tagliato perché non era necessario.
Il budget non c'era.
Assolutamente.
Questo è
fucking retarded Morpheus fish. Come on, man. Anyway, this movie gets 9 turtles out of 3.8 plastic straws.
Vabbè, dai, almeno almeno una tartaruga non ha mangiato una cannuccia.
Esatto, non c'è.
Non andrò mai più a vedere Nemo nella mia vita. Io adesso ogni volta che vedrò un film di Nemo, se per caso mi capita, penserò a questa cosa.
Guarda che se mai vedremo gli altri andrà a peggiorare la cosa.